Welcome to Dave's Empty Train Room. I think today we're going to tackle something that a lot of people have, at least layout visits that I've done. I've seen a lot of problems like this, and it makes it really hard for me to do troubleshooting on the layouts. And that's taming the wires. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to do something, a real simple little project that anybody can do. You don't have to have special machines, although I use them in the video. These can be done with anything, and I'll describe that to you as we're going. What we're going to be doing is making wire runs, and I'm going to show you some pictures of the actual bench work and how you can tame the wires on the bench work right at the beginning when you're starting to build it. And then from there we're going to go to an existing layout that has wires already in it, and what we're going to do to tame the wires. And when I'm talking about taming the wires, I'm talking about getting them up out of the way. A lot of people use underneath the layouts for storage. And as you're sliding boxes in, I've seen some wires that hang way down below the framework. And these boxes get caught on them, they shove them in there, and a portion of the layout quits working, and they don't know why. So that's when they call me. And I got to go under there and figure out where these wires are going. And not only where it goes, but when I found the loose wire, where did it come from? And if you set up your wires like this, it'll be real easy to do. So let's get started. Alright, from the beginning, design the layout with the wire runs incorporated into the bench work. It only makes sense. You won't have to figure out how to hang the wires once all your wiring is in. And the wire runs kind of keep your wires in order. I drill mine in sets of 3. You'll see one of them I used for track power, where that's exactly what it says. Anything that gets tied to the track goes in that hole. The other ones I use for accessories like lighting, switches, stuff of that nature. The third one I use for digital lines, for stuff like Digitrax and a LocoNet. This keeps everything all separated out so it's easy to troubleshoot later on. And for the guys that already have their layout built and wire in, we're going to build a bunch of these. These are nothing more than conduit, cut into small little pieces. I cut them about 2 inches. Very easy to use, very easy to cut. The bandsaw cuts it real quickly, but you don't have to have a bandsaw. You can use something as simple as a hacksaw. It all cuts just fine, very soft. Okay, basically what we're going to do here is we're cutting a slot into the conduit. This is going to help us get the wire in there, and basically we don't want to have to undo the wiring on the layout to get it into the conduit. So all you're going to do is stick a screwdriver in the slot, and then you're going to take the wire and tuck them in. It's a great way to do it. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to drill the hole so we can get it mounted. Okay, on this conduit, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck it inside of a clamp, and this way I don't get my fingers in the way of the bit while it's running. And then we're going to drill the hole. What I have mounted in the drill is a countersink bit, and that's going to get our small hole and large hole drilled at the same time. Now, if you don't have a countersink bit, you can use a smaller hole, something that's going to clear the screw, and you don't want the screw to bind up, but you're going to drill it all the way through, and then you're going to use a larger bit to clear the screwdriver, because you're going to need to get the screwdriver through this so you can tighten the screw on the other side. And you'll see in just a second when I get through drilling this what it's going to look like. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. Okay, you can see we have the larger hole, You can see the smaller hole in the back. The screw is going to go through the smaller hole, but when you're mounting this, you got to get it through the larger hole to the smaller hole. And since there's not enough room inside of it to get your fingers in there to hold it, the bigger hole is so you can get the screwdriver through it and be able to attach the screw. Okay, and here's what we were telling you about the magnet trick that we're going to do to get this thing. When you're working underneath something and you don't have two hands to be able to hold the screw and keep it from falling off, and you can see the magnet, what it does, it keeps the screw from falling off. The magnet will hold it there, and there you can see what it does. Now, since we can't get our fingers inside of the tube to be able to hold the screw, this is what we're going to do. And as you insert it here, it holds it long enough so you can get it in there and get it started. Okay, and there it is, nice and tight. Okay, now that we got the holder attached, what we're going to do is, you got this wire here and we got to get it inside the tube. So what we're going to do is you just take a screwdriver, you're going to put it in the slot. And get the wire in. And this makes it really convenient. We didn't have to unhook our circuit. It's all good as far as being secure. Now, let's say we had to repair something. We need to get the wire out. Easiest way to do it, same thing. Just do it the opposite. Put your screwdriver in the slot, pull the wire out, and when you get the wire repaired, you can, when you run the new circuit, you can just run the wire right through the hole. You won't have to do the slot, open the slot with the screwdriver. And that's pretty much it. And you can see what it does for your wire runs. It keeps them in order. Digital lines, track power, accessory power. And I keep them consistent throughout the layout as it goes down. Okay, here you can see the results. The wires are well organized. You can see where items are coming from and where it's going to. You can see the connections. You can see the wires well supported. It's not going to be hanging down where it can get injured by something getting slid under the layout. The easiest part of this is it's easy to do. This can be done brand new on a new layout, or you can incorporate this on wiring that's already done. Thanks a bunch for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and have a good one.